As gamers, we have been misunderstood most of our lives. People see video games as addicting, obnoxious, and can badly affect your studies, your career, relationships, sleep schedule, and yes, let's admit it, even hygiene. It may be true for some, but those people don't really speak for the entire gaming population because what the general public don't know is that we grew up with heroes, with legends, swordsmen, hunters, survivors, and yes, plumbers. So in this video, we will talk about the golden teachings that video games have taught us and have been passed on to our generation. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Video games have taught us so many good things, but one life lesson that's been so commonly used in most video games would be loyalty. The best example for this is Link, the loudest hero of The Legend of Zelda. That little dude woke up 200 years post-war and the first thing he does is to save the last remaining bloodline of the royal family. And that's your entire 300 hours will go. If loyalty doesn't hit you right in the face, I don't know what else will. Link sets on a very long journey with just one objective in mind, and that is to save Princess Zelda. I mean, if that were me, waking up after 200 years and with an open world like that, I'd be maxing out my stamina bar just to use my paraglide and fly wherever my left stick will take me. So no matter how ever-changing the open world is and how difficult a boss could be or how tedious some of the side quests are, the hero of the story will always be marching towards saving the princess. The most common setting in a video game is something like this. Explosion, the world's at war, get knocked down for some reason, and then cut to the scene where you wake up in a filthy cell, so you go on a journey to figure out how you can make it out alive and safe in one piece and survive. In video games, the main goal is to always survive, of course, but to survive, you need to adapt to sudden changes in the environment. We are taught to act fast and be critical about our next moves, or else. But change doesn't just teach you to survive, it also teaches you empathy. How do you react after you lose your companion dog? Or that NPC that you've been with for about 100 hours ago? Or seeing your childhood best friend for the first and last time? There are scenes in video games that are so relatable sometimes that it would hit us right in the core. The use of words, building up the story, visuals, music, character reactions, and ambience were all orchestrated together to reflect life experiences and, in a way, give us a head start by seeing these characters progress life after big changes or losing everything. Another thing that video games taught me is to always get good. And for non-gamers, it basically means being better with added speed.
I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry. Be better.
The game that taught me the most about perseverance would be FromSoft games. You don't win by just randomly smashing buttons like in a fighting game, but by being a better version of your default self. The game sets this humble beginning for you, with barely anything on but a blunt blade as your weapon, and to fight more powerful beings, you first need to get the right armor, obtain the right weapon, craft potions to last you, until Elden Ring 20, practice combat moves, memorize and anticipate the opponent's every move, and pray that you don't lose all the souls you've gathered for the last 3 hours. And yes, games can be too violent sometimes, even at this age. I actually cried over this bunny from The Last of Us. But if you look hard enough, games nowadays don't just teach you about saving princesses alone, but by having the drive to go face to face with a final boss, even if it takes you 7 days to defeat them. One practical thing that video game actually taught us would be resource management. Have you ever planned your trip to the bathroom so efficiently and multitaskingly that you also think about what other things you might grab along the way? I have. So in games that requires tedious resource management such as Resident Evil 4, you have to plan out how you can make room for a heavy gun while keeping your 20 herbs. And it takes me back to whenever I pack my stuff for a vacation and have to do mini inventory game in my head just so I can fit my Nintendo Switch inside my luggage. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm bad at directions to the point that I lost my car once in a parking lot. But in almost every video game, there is a map system, and at an early age, we were taught to rely on and understand how maps work, how ground levels affect the way you read a map, and the type of monsters that live per level. Heck, we even understand cardinal directions and even throw in some starboard and port. To enjoy video games, we must learn how to have a sense of direction. It can be overwhelming at times, and boy, no matter how complicated a game can be, we always know which way to go when things go down. There are tons of reasons why we enjoy playing video games, but one thing that has highly trained our brain power is how well we can strategize. Games are full of puzzles and never-ending side quests, but for you to progress the game, you have to use your critical thinking cap and solve puzzles, riddles, and crack codes. So there are so many things to love about a video game. The characters, the world design, the storyline, but there are games that give you so much satisfaction when you've shown those side quest boss who is the real boss. Some games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth use a big chunk of their game direction in letting the players have the freedom to explore the world through side quests that require strategies to win, such as the chicken game, the frog game, and yes, how can we forget setup game? I don't know if this is just a personal opinion, but thanks to video games, I was able to remind myself to just focus on one objective. Given that game developers have the freedom to throw in side quests, it's a true challenge for some gamers to deal with all of them, especially me. I remember getting overwhelmed by all of the side quests in Hogwarts Legacy. It's like it keeps on throwing in 10 more side quests whenever you finish one. It never ends. So same with personal errands. I have to remember what my main objective is for the day. Do I sleep or do I take a shower? Gamers who are fans of open world appreciate how much freedom it is to explore the weirdest buildings, the highest mountains. But what makes it more appealing is the rewards you get whenever you explore. I just realized this when my boyfriend played The Last of Us series again, and he was able to find the safe inside the train station where most of the clickers were, which I never saw when I was playing it. Well, because... As you can tell by now, it's not just violence or foul language we pick up from a game. There's always more to it than meets the eye. So I hope more and more people are enlightened by thinking that gaming is bad. What are your thoughts on this? Did we miss any life lessons? If we do, please share them on the comment section below. So before we go, I would just like to help Jules of What Culture Gaming with his goal of spreading positivity. I just want to say this. So remember to treat yourself kindly, even just for today. Go outside, grab a sandwich and a cold drink or a hot drink wherever you are, and let your brain rest and just do nothing. You also deserve to be happy. Alright, so I'll head out now and spend some quality time with my family, and we'll see you on our next video. Bye!